Monday Night Raw. Listen to me very carefully and count your lucky stars that you have a Cruiserweight and a women's division. Because the rest of the show still sucks. Oh yes. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz, Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, here with your October 3rd Raw review. And yes, the party we call Raw might suck, but the after party is right here. Anyways, didn't catch the pre-show tonight. Just didn't get around to it. Catching the last little bit of Luke Cage over on Netflix. Actually, I would really, for any of you that actually follow the Marvel stuff, I really suggest Luke Cage. I killed it pretty much all in one weekend. It's a pretty good show. Anyways, going for something that from a big dude that's really exciting to Roman Reigns, because that's how we open the show. Roman Reigns comes out to a mix of boos and USA chants because he's got the belt. And it's like the crowd in LA were very, very specifically telling him, we're cheering for the belt. We're cheering for the USA. We're not cheering for you. I thought they were going to tone down Roman Reigns. I really did. I really, beyond all reasoning, hoped that they were going to tone down Roman Reigns, but they didn't. Talks about his bloodline in the WWE and how nobody in his bloodline has ever won the United States Champion. I'm here, I'm the United States Champion, and I represent my family when I'm out here. And he got very, very repetitive. So much that when Lana interrupted him, we got a loud, loud thank you Lana chant. It said, Rusev doesn't even know I'm here. Life's a negotiation. I'm here to negotiate a United States Championship rematch. Rusev is my family. You don't know what family means. You don't respect family. You ruined my wedding. My husband will destroy you in front of your family, and I think you should go to hell. Rusev comes out, and they brawl, and they brawl, and they brawl. And Roman is knocked out momentarily. Rusev takes the belt. Roman miraculously recovers, Superman punches Rusev and says, yeah, I accept, and yeah, I'm gonna go to hell, and yeah, you're gonna go with me, and yeah, we're having a Hell in the Cell match at Hell in the Cell. This took 20 minutes and didn't need to happen. And my camera, I hate my camera sometimes, guys, and you're gonna have to wait for me for a second. Hold on. And we're back. See, even my camera didn't want me to talk about Roman Reigns and Rusev in the United States Championship picture. Let's talk about the Cruiserweights. The Cruiserweight non-title match between TJ Perkins and Brian Kendrick. You guys know I don't take detailed notes on the Cruiserweight matches, but I will say TJ Perkins versus Brian Kendrick was an awesome match. TJ Perkins high-flying, doing all the babyface TJ Perkins stuff. Still love the 8-bit video game entrance. I think it's really, really cool. Kendrick being the wily veteran type thing, and I like what Kendrick's been doing. He's been using the ring to his advantage, and yeah, they say that a lot, but the way he's been doing it has been really neat. Sorry guys, if you see in the Cruiserweight Classic, there was a moment where he actually wedged somebody's foot under the guardrail so that he could just give them a beatdown. During the Fatal 4-Way #1 Contenders match a couple weeks ago, he had that moment where he wedged somebody's foot in the steps so he could do the same thing. Here, he had TJ Perkins' hand bent backwards. He took the covering off of, not the actual turnbuckle, but the long bolt that holds it together, wedged his hand in that, and had him hung up by his hand kind of in this way position. It was particularly effective to me, and I know most of you won't care about this, so skip ahead a couple of seconds. When I was younger, in high school, etc., the one year that we actually did mat wrestling in phys ed, there was nobody my weight. There was a bunch of people smaller than me and one guy a lot bigger than me. I got dropped down on my wrist in this position. It's not a fun way to spend a day. So the fact that his hand was bent in that position, and it looks like they botched, because he for a moment was hung up in that position, and Brian Kendrick actually pulled him out of it again. It didn't look like a fun time for TJ Perkins. If we don't see him the next week or so and we find out that there is something wrong with his hand, I won't be surprised, but I'm not obviously hoping that that's the case, but it looked really nasty. A rake of the eyes and a Captain's Hook gets the non-title win for Brian Kendrick. Obviously, we're going to see a title rematch between these guys down the line. I don't think they're going to put the Cruiserweights in Hell in a Cell, but I could be wrong. That could be a thing. Pre-taped interview with Seth Rollins and Michael Cole. very, very babyface cut and paste stuff. This is one of the things that pisses me off about Raw. It's not that everybody on Raw sucked. It's the fact that Raw has all these amazing people that could be doing amazing things and they're just not. This interview is one of them. Seth Rollins, basically with Michael Cole in the back, cuts the promo that basically announces, okay guys, enough lollygagging around. I'm a babyface. It is what it is. My ribs hurt, but I'm still here. Owens was handed that title. He's the teacher's pet. Roddy Raw. Like we don't know that was Rollins' role a couple weeks ago. You can never replace Seth Rollins, but I'm going to tear apart the machine and I'm going to cancel the Kevin Owens show. Oh yes. Strowman takes on a jobber, a guy named Chase Silver, who's come to Hollywood to fulfill all his Hollywood dreams, and he has a dream of beating up Braun Strowman, which definitely doesn't happen. In the back, Bayley talks to Sasha Banks about her main event title match tonight. Congratulates her, talks about how hype it is that she's in the main event, tells her that, you know, this is super exciting, you're entering Trish Stratus Lita territory. I'm going to assume that on the pre-show they spoke to Lita about the time that her and Trish Stratus main evented Raw. I didn't see the pre-show and I'm definitely not going to go back and watch it now, but if they didn't, shame on them. Okay, not really have anything to do with Raw, but they announced what everybody's been bitching about for about a week, that the Royal Rumble 2017 is going to happen at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas, January 29th, 2017. And here's where I gotta say something. Yes, I have been boasting a lot, and I have been getting myself really, really jacked up in every video and every hangout I've done, because I'm going to take over Toronto and Survivor Series in Toronto, that have come to Toronto, and I'm super excited about that. Don't get me wrong, and I'm on cloud nine about that. I really am. At ridiculous o'clock on a Monday night, it's hard for me to show how excited I am, but I really am, and I really do actually like the Survivor Series. I can sit back and I can say, you know, I give myself a little bit of leeway there, because it's been a long ass time, like almost 10 years since WWE has brought a legitimate pay-per-view to Toronto. But when you've got people in LA and Chicago and New York bitching that they were supposed to get the Royal Rumble, and the Royal Rumble belongs in this city, or this Royal Rumble belongs in my city, I was going to get tickets for that because, you know, the right choice would have been my city. In all these cities that get pay-per-views all the fucking time, you all and your entitlement can go fuck yourselves. Oh yes. Anyways, Owens comes out with Jericho. They come out and they kind of fumble. They're funny, Kevin Owens and Jericho. I'm sorry, but the Royal Rumble thing just kills me. Well, it's a wrong decision. Texas is wrong. And I mean, when you hear about the rumors that Austin is going to be somehow involved, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, let's not go to a place where all those things might happen, because you particularly can't go. Alright, go like me. Go approximately... The closest thing to a pay-per-view we've had was Roadblock, which was almost a house show. So fuck off, by the way. Owens and Jericho come out and they kind of clusterfuck their way through a response promo to what Rollins has said earlier in the night. They talk about the Rollins interview. They talk... Kevin Owens reminds us that Michael Cole is horrible. Rollins belongs on the sideline because he's stupid. He's nothing to deserve a rematch. He can come out here and he can blame everything. He can blame everything on anything he wants, on refs, on backstage, on collusion, and all that sort of thing. But he can blame himself because he's the one that lost. And he can blame me because I'm the one that beats him. Jericho and Owens are the world's best friends. Roddy. If there's a rematch, I want my friend Chris Jericho to be the ref. Jericho says Team Chris and Kevin are the best, and we should challenge the New Day. And we should get a title shot before Sheamus and Cesaro, because they're not even friends. The tag team champions and the Universal Champion at the same time would be a big, huge deal. Kevin Owens kind of like, I'm already a champion, but Jericho says, hey, at least I'm not coming for your title, which makes Kevin Owens change his mind quite quickly. Okay, let's do it. New Day come out, and they do their shtick. And it's super old, and they call Kevin Owens fat, which is great considering he's the hood ornament of the brand. They accept the challenge, and Jericho versus New Day is going to happen later tonight. Sheamus and Cesaro argue like idiots as they just arrive to the arena. Oh, the hilarity. The hilarity is non-existent is what it is. It's non-existent. I get that we're supposed to do, oh, it's the odd couple, oh, how are they ever going to get along, and then they magically will, and it's as predictable as me waking up in the sun rising tomorrow, but it's hilarious, isn't it? It's at this moment in time that I noticed that we are 1 hour and 15 minutes into a 3-hour show where we've seen 2 matches, and we haven't even really seen 2 matches because one of those 2 matches is a Braun Strowman squash match. So TJ Perkins versus Brian Kendrick, while it was amazing, is the only legitimate match we've gotten in the first hour and a quarter of this show. Oh yes. Please, somebody defend this show to me. And because fuck you if you want anything that makes sense, we have Sami Zayn versus, not Titus O'Neil, Sami Zayn versus the Titus O'Neil brand. WWE, once again, I beg your attention one more time. Titus O'Neil is fucking irrelevant. Oh yes. Anyways, there's a shove in the corner by Titus and some chops by Zayn, a double backbreaker by Titus and some corner chomps. Titus claps and dances around like a moron, which is a theme that is going to last us the rest of the night. Oh yes. Bear hug by Titus, a boot and a backbreaker, clothesline by Zayn, and a corner explode. Okay, I will say, Sami Zayn hitting that exploder suplex into the corner on somebody the size of Titus O'Neil, fucking amazing. Helluva kick. Sami Zayn finally gets a fucking win. I was gonna say, I was so sure with this 101st rebrand of Titus O'Neil that they were gonna squash Sami Zayn, because if you haven't noticed in the past little while, Sami Zayn must have fucked somebody's wife, because what have they done with him in the past little while? But they did something right. I mean, they did something wrong by putting Titus O'Neil on my screen, but they did something right by at least having somebody beat him for once. Cesaro and Sheamus argue some more in the back. Yay! We see a video package for the club and how they've been on a path. I'm sorry, guys. I have to. Okay. The club have been on a path of apparently, on some other show that's not televised, and clearly not on Monday Night Raw or pay-per-view, the club, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, have been on a path of destruction, and they're coming up next. And it's about to get serious. You know, all the funny business has gone away, and we're about to spoil all the fun, and we're about to get rid of all. They show some interview that was done on the pre-show, and we're here to, you know, get rid of all the clowns in the tag team division. So of course they're going up against the Golden Truth. Now, not only do the club, who they just tried to push, not get an entrance at all, we gotta sit through the Golden Truth making their entrance with karaoke lyrics bouncing across my screen as friggin' R-Truth dances and raps badly and takes up a lot of our time. So, we start off the match. The match starts. The bell rings. It's not the preamble. It's not the introduction. The match starts. The bell rings. R-Truth takes over from his brother Titus and shucks and jives around the ring like a moron. Oh yes. Golden Truth double team Anderson, uppercut and a clothesline by Goldust, an arm drag into an armbar, mudhole stomp by Gallows, who rides a headlock, boot and a stomp and a slam by Goldust, rolling clotheslines by R-Truth and a scissor kick. The club basically gets sick of what's going on here, boot by Gallows, and the Magic Killer gets the win, and they hit another Magic Killer after the match to look, you know, devious and menacing. But let me just tell you, a mudhole by Gallows, a headlock, a boot, and a Magic Killer. That is the only offense they got in this match against a pair of goofballs like friggin' R-Truth and Goldust. This is not how you do it. Jericho and Ashton Kutcher and Danny Masturbator in the back do some bad comedy. They add them to the list. And basically this is to announce that Ashton Kutcher and the other fucking Danny Mastercraft, whatever, is going to be on commentary when Jericho takes on the New Day. I'm cringing already. At this point, please bring on Tuesday. Please bring on the Blue Brand. Please bring on Mauro Ranallo. And please bring on some wrestling that I give the fuck about. Oh, yes. Okay. Gotta turn the sarcasm off for a second, because WWE, I know, everybody loves to jump on WWE and the Susan G. Komen thing. Oh, they're all crooks and roddy rah, and WWE's doing this for publicity and roddy rah. I don't give a shit. I'm going to say point blank right now, I do not give a shit. It's a feel-good moment, it's a feel-good thing, and even if they're not 100% going to the charity, they're still taking a month to, you know, change their marketing, change their branding, and spend a lot of TV time raising awareness for a good cause like breast cancer. So anybody that's trying to take a shot at that to be controversial and get more clicks and views on their YouTube videos, because that's exactly what you're doing, oh yes, can go fuck yourselves. Along with the people that are mad that Royal Rumble's not happening in their city, the people that are bashing the awareness of breast cancer can go fuck themselves. A whole bunch, oh yes. Enzo and Cass come out, and apparently there was a contest sometime earlier in the year where people nominated people that they knew that had survived breast cancer, and the three women in the ring with Enzo and Cass had won. They do a bunch of uplifting, you know, you are, you know, we're here fighting in the ring every day, but you already won your fight with cancer. We call people like you champions, and they present the three women with WWE Women's Championship belts. It's a cool little thing, and you know, Cass does the whole, you know, one thing that these women are definitely not, SAWFT soft, and it's a whole lot of fun. The ladies in the ring look like they had a lot of fun. It's a good cause. Fuck off. And just enjoy it. Feel good moment. I don't care. Kudos to them. Jericho versus the New Day. We have to spend a lot of time acknowledging the goofballs on commentary, so neither, you know, Hall of Fame bound Chris Jericho, Universal Champion Kevin Owens, or Tag Team Champions the New Day get an entrance. Yeah. We must be in Hollywood. Oh yes. Woods and Jericho start. Chops by Jericho, jabs by Owens, and a corner beat down by both. Double mudhole stomp by Jericho, boots and stomps by Jericho, dropkick by Woods. Owens and Big E brawl, and then Big E dances like a moron, taking over from his brothers Titus O'Neil and R-Truth. Even Enzo Amore managed to not dance around like an idiot while he was doing the friggin' charity fundraiser good cause shit. They were out there with the spiky hair and the you know, the ghetto ass microphones and all that, and they were doing their shtick, but they managed not to dance around like assholes. Titus O'Neil, R-Truth, Big E, and I know what you're all gonna say. Go ahead and say it down in the box below so I can add you to the list. The Spaz Phoenix list of go fuck yourself. Oh yes. Kitchen sink by Big E and a cannonball by Owens as we go to commercial break. High knee by Woods, dropkick and a dropkick to the back. Gutbuster by Owens and a punt to the ribs and a sleeper clothesline by Owens, a corner beatdown by Jericho. Face first top rope suplex by Woods. Dirty. DDT by Owens, who's then distracted by the fact that Rollins' music hits and he comes down the ramp and he's distracted. Roddy Raw. Insecurity by Woods. Rollins hits rolling belly-to-belly suplexes on everybody he sees. Super kick by Owens. Suicide dive by Woods. A running splash by Big E. A hangman by Owens. A proper lion tamer by Chris Jericho. Did make me pop. Good for that. Rollins comes down ringside, which is enough of a distraction to hit the midnight hour on Chris Jericho. Kevin Owens bails the fuck out. New Day wins, and Rollins joins the New Day in the ring to hit a pedigree on Chris Jericho. Kind of cool, I guess. I mean, heel Rollins and heel New Day, the four of them teamed up for a little while, and then when Rollins got injured, they were sending him the bullshit unicorn magic. So now the friggin' New Day are faces and Rollins is faces. So to see them hang out again and do their thing, and like they do actually show some genuine camaraderie in the ring, which is kind of cool. The bit between Jericho and Owens is getting fun, but I mean, yes, it's going to lead down the line to either Owens versus Jericho or Owens versus Jericho versus Rollins, which is fine. I just wish they would either get there or not be so obvious about the thing that they're taking their sweet time to get to. Does that make sense? Oh yes. Cruiserweights come back once again, and still WWE is doing the awesome branding shit with the purple, the different ring mat, the different feel, you know, the different way the refs present the match and start the match and end the match and all that sort of thing. I really do like it. I'm not going to harp on it every week, but it is still relatively nice and new, and they do the whole handshake bit and give them the instructions. I tell you something, I've seen little bits and pieces from Bound for Glory. Yes, Kristen, I expect you to make fun of me any day now. But this makes a lot more sense than the Impact Grand Championship. Oh yes! There's a promo package for Emma. Bunch of photos of Emma looking hot as fuck, as she does. But the end of the promo makes me very nervous. The end of the promo makes... Because we are about to witness the makeover of Emmalina. I swear to God, hot heel Emma is awesome. WWE, you've got something here. You did something right. If you manage to fuck this up, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. Emmalina, what the fuck? Sheamus and Cesaro kill some jobbers. Oh yes. Best part of that was Cesaro jumped off Sheamus's back to hit a DDT that looked messy as hell. I cannot manage to care. I'm much more interested in the main champion. I can't say the world champion because he's on SmackDown, but I'm more interested in the main champion of the company, and like I say, a future Hall of Famer like Chris Jericho pursuing the tag team titles than these fucking knob goblins. Sheamus, who's more irrelevant than Titus O'Neil, and that's an accomplishment, and Cesaro, who is another one like Emma, where WWE had something so good and they relegated him to 3 moves. Cesaro, as much as people don't want to compare him to Roman Reigns, as much as people don't want to compare him to somebody like a John Cena or I don't know who else, Rey Mysterio or whatever, Cesaro's been relegated to like the 3 moves of doom. He does a power suplex sometime in the match, he does the swing, he does a couple of uppercuts, and the neutralizer. So sorry, 4. He's got the 4 moves of doom. WWE have relegated to him to being 1 less move of doom behind John Cena, Roman Reigns, and gimpy-ass Rey Mysterio. Oh yes. Oh yes. And yes, I know they're still doing the Hispanic Heritage Month, whatever. They did the whole thing for Mil Mascaras, which is great. Video package was awesome, led the way for all the future luchadors and all that sort of thing, and then they included Rey Mysterio in the great luchadors that he paved the way for. And Rey Mysterio, I don't care how irrelevant it is. I don't care how long it's been since I've had to see Rey Mysterio on my screen. Rey Mysterio, and one particular Rey Mysterio fan that I can think of off the top of my head, can still go and fuck themselves. Added to the Spaz Phoenix list. The list of Phoenix. Oh yes. Now we have the saving grace. We have the main event. Sasha, I can speak, I swear. Sasha Banks versus Charlotte for the Women's Championship. Now, I will give them a lot of credit. Now, they stifled the beginning of this match with 2 back-to-back commercial breaks, which is not great. But they gave it a huge video package, you know, highlights all the way back from NXT to now, to the inclusion of Dana Brooke, to the 4 Horsewomen, all this sort of stuff, right to WrestleMania and the inclusion of Ric Flair. The whole bit really, really, really gave it the pay-per-view feel. Now, it's a main event on Raw. It wasn't a main event of a pay-per-view feel, but it felt like a women's match would be presented on a pay-per-view, if that makes sense. Sasha Banks goes to the ring. In the back, Charlotte and Dana take that particular moment to make fun of Bayley some more. You know, I'm going to go with my title, and I'm going to main event. Charlotte is a great heel if she doesn't say a word. As soon as she opens her mouth, everything just goes bad. Everything just goes... I mean, except for if she's in the closed office with Vince McMahon. Then I'm sure when she opens her mouth, a lot of things go really well. But when she opens her mouth and there's a microphone within hearing distance, it just goes bad. When she walks away, she goes to the match... sorry, I know I sound gross. Sinuses are fucked up as usual. You have my apologies. But after that, Dana decides to step up to Bayley. She does the typical head pat thing that she did all the way through NXT. And Bayley, of all people, who I've been saying for the past couple of weeks has been made to look like an awkward little kid, takes Dana, who's been built up as this... Yeah, she's a protege, but she's built up as this, like, powerhouse type of... Not a powerhouse, but like, you know, the next Beth Phoenix type thing, because she did all her fitness, bodybuilding, and all that shit. Puts her basically, not through a wall, but like whatever the women's division equivalent of through a wall is, to where she's grabbing her knee and she's doing the Peter Griffin, in the back. So we have a one-on-one match, which is great. It works because we want to see a one-on-one match between Charlotte and Sasha Banks, which is great. It gives Bayley some balls, which, yes, sounds awesome, or awkward to some people, I'm sure, but it'll go on down the line, down the line, down the line. But it was a good little spot. I thought it was just going to be another case of people on the main roster not knowing how to book Bayley, and we're gonna make her look like the underdog by making her look like a loser, or giving her like the personality of a loser, which I think is what they've been doing the past couple of weeks. But they didn't do that. It was really good. The biggest, okay, again, I say Dana's not a main event player in the WWE right now, but they have been, as I say, building her up as like, the bodybuilder, the stronger girl or whatever. So for Bayley to put her into the wall was pretty damn good and pretty damn awesome. It's a little bit of that spark that she showed at the end of her rivalry with Asuka before she came to the main roster. And if she can carry that over, then yeah, when we do get to the point of Sasha versus Bayley around WrestleMania time, which we all know is happening, then it'll be built up and it'll be fucking awesome. Anyways, this match, however, collar double tie up and a knockdown by Charlotte, and Sasha tosses Charlotte out of the ring early. After a second attempt, she does manage to hit a suicide dive on Charlotte very, very early in the match. So everybody that's gone on blogs and dirt sheets and YouTube videos and etc., that's been telling her, yo, you're going to break yourself in half, you need to stop doing the suicide dive, she basically told us all to go fuck ourselves. And good for her, I guess, if that's what she wants to do. Commercial break, we come back, surfboard by Charlotte. We see a replay of all the destruction of Sasha's back that we've done over the commercial break, which they could have waited till the commercial break was over, but whatever. Takes her down by the hair, backbreaker, puts her in a backbreaker submission, then hits her with an actual backbreaker, and then hits a second backbreaker against the second turnbuckle, all in succession, all working the back. It's all very good. Chops by Charlotte, chops by Sasha. Anything you can do, I can do better. You guys know I love that story. Rolling clotheslines and a dropkick by Sasha and a high knee. The high knee looked fucking dirty. Double knee press by Sasha, head scissor and a baseball slide dropkick takes Charlotte out again. They both get back in the ring, and they go through this extensive sequence where both of them are trying to lock on their specific... why can't I speak today? They're given submission moves, the figure four, bank statement, counter, etc. Charlotte eats the turnbuckle, but then a boot by Charlotte, corner chops by Charlotte, and a top rope knee press by Sasha. Bank statement, Charlotte counters. Now, Charlotte counters the bank statement with Sasha on her back, sort of backs her way into the rope area, and dumps Charlotte spine first onto the apron, and then knocks her out of the ring. And then, Charlotte, I give her a lot of shit for a lot of different things. I think she's bland as a character. I think she can't talk to save her life. In the ring, I've never questioned her ability. Corkscrew, top rope, moonsault to the outside by Charlotte was fucking pretty. I'm just putting that one out there. But they get back in the ring. Desperation, natural selection by Charlotte. And then we go into this thing. And the only thing I could think of to compare it to would be the Hulk Hogan hulking up when he's on his knees and he just starts getting the shake going on. But Charlotte, she's slapping Sasha, but it's not like bitch slaps. It's a pretty legitimate, like, slap her down, she comes back up. Slap her down, she comes back up. You can see every time Sasha gets up, she's rattled, she's wrecked, she's fucking losing her shit. Anyways, throws her into the ropes. Sasha Banks hits a head scissor into a bank statement, which is nice. And then we get a tease of what happened at SummerSlam. If you remember back at SummerSlam, she countered the bank statement and rolled it up into a pin and got the win over Sasha. So we had the bank statement, which got turned into a pin, which Sasha says, fuck you, kicks herself a little bit farther over, gets the bank statement back on, and Charlotte not only taps out, but she taps out really fucking awkwardly, like her hand is going numb. It's all good. I thought they were going to do a run-in after the match. I thought Charlotte was going to give her a beatdown after the match, or Dana was going to limp back out, or, Paige or Emelina were going to come out or something, but they didn't. Friggin' Dana Brooke is having a fucking epileptic mental fucking breakdown on the rampway, but she gave the ring to Sasha. Sasha got to have her moment, and in front of everybody in Los Angeles, the boss is now the champ once again, which is awesome. Awesome match, and I'm going to revert back to the night that Kevin Owens won the title. You guys know, when the Cruiserweights came to Raw, I do not consider them part of Raw. They're branded differently, they are treated differently, it is a completely separate show experience when the Cruiserweights are on my TV. So I do not consider the Cruiserweights part of Raw, which means that the only good thing that happened on this show was Sasha Banks winning the title, which is fucking phenomenal, but not enough to save a 3-hour show. This show was still shit. The show was just shit that had 2 or 3 diamonds in it. And I dare you, anybody that disagrees with me, and I've said this every week since the brand split, anybody delusional enough to still think that Raw is better than SmackDown, it's not. You're fucked in the head. I'm sorry, there's no other nice way to say it. NXT is hitting its stride once again. SmackDown is kicking Raw's ass. There is nothing the Red brand can do to recover. There really isn't. Sasha Banks and Charlotte owned the night tonight. The women's division owned the night tonight, and the women's division only has 3 relevant members. Let's be real for a second. Dana Brooke is a sidekick. Alicia Fox they brought back to be owned, and Nia Jax is fucking Nia Jax. Because nobody else is fucking Nia Jax, let's be real. I'm sorry, and those people out there that are saying, oh, you're hopping on the blue trend, you're hopping on it, you want to just follow SmackDown because you think you're being counterculture. No, I follow SmackDown, and I like SmackDown, and I tout the advantages and the predominance and the victory of SmackDown because it's fucking true. You can disagree with me if you like, but at the end of the day, I'm Spaz, you're not. Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there. Talk down there. Start a conversation. Keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I am tagging out, guys, and sometimes I'm sorry. The truth hurts. Bye.